this could be the truck that finally makes Ford, Toyota, and Chevy nervous. Ram is bringing back a name a lot of truck fans thought was gone for good, the Dakota. And according to reports, the 2027 Ram Dakota isn't just another mid-sized truck trying to squeeze into a crowded segment. Ram's own leadership is calling it a real truck, not just, in their words, a car with a bed. Here's the backstory. Ram hasn't had a true smaller pickup since the original Dakota went out of production back in 2011. Since then, Toyota's Tacoma, Ford's Ranger, and Chevy's Colorado have basically had the mid-sized truck space to themselves, and they've cashed in on it. Toyota reportedly sells over 200,000 Tacomas a year in the US. Ford's Ranger and Maverick combined are putting up similar numbers. GM's mid-sized trucks are pulling in around 140,000 sales annually, according to industry estimates. That's a massive pool of buyers Ram has been sitting on the sidelines for, and it sounds like they're done watching. Ram CEO Tim Kuniskis has reportedly been blunt about it, saying it's almost disingenuous for Ram to call itself a truck brand without a mid-size option in the lineup. According to statements attributed to him, he's said he desperately wants this truck and that there's clearly a market waiting for it. So what's actually different this time? Reports indicate the new Dakota is being developed from the ground up, on a body-on-frame architecture, meaning it's built like a proper truck, not a repurposed car platform. Kuniskis has reportedly emphasized that it needs to have real towing capability and real payload numbers, the kind that would let a buyer comfortably step up from the Dakota to a full-size Ram 1500 without feeling like they're missing something. Stellantis has reportedly confirmed that physical clay models already exist. This isn't just sketches and PowerPoint slides at this stage. Production is said to be targeted for the Belvidere assembly plant in Illinois, with the truck expected to arrive as a 2028 model year vehicle built sometime in 2027. And here's a detail that could matter a lot to buyers according to reports. This truck is being positioned as a genuinely affordable option, filling the gap left behind when the budget-friendly Ram 1500 Classic was discontinued in October of 2024. So Ram wants a real truck, at a real price, aimed straight at the segment's biggest players. Let's talk power, because this is where things start getting interesting for Ram's rivals. According to reports, if the new Dakota follows the same global pickup platform Stellantis already sells overseas, it could launch with a turbocharged 2.0-liter four-cylinder engine. That engine is reportedly rated at 268 horsepower and 295 pound-feet of torque, and if those figures hold up, it would already be competitive with, or even ahead of, some base engine options from Toyota and Chevy in this segment. That same Turbo 4 is reportedly shared with the Dodge Hornet GT, so it's not an unproven unit, it's already out in the wild. Reports also suggest a 9-speed automatic transmission and all-wheel drive could come standard, which would be a notable move in a segment where four-wheel drive is often treated as an upgrade rather than a given. Now here's the part that could really shake things up, according to industry reporting. Ram may also offer a plug-in hybrid version of the Dakota, using the same PHEV setup available in the Hornet. A full battery electric Dakota, however, looks unlikely at this point. Reports note that Stellantis has been pulling back from several EV projects recently, including the all-electric Ram 1500 and the Jeep Gladiator Forks PHEV, so a straight gas or hybrid lineup seems like the more realistic path for now. On the capability side, Ram's messaging has reportedly leaned hard into towing and payload as the defining features of this truck. Kuniskis has been quoted saying, "The Dakota needs to have the towing capability, the payload, and everything a real truck buyer expects, not just enough to get by, but enough that stepping up to the full-size 1500 later would feel like a natural progression rather than a necessary upgrade." Design-wise, specifics are still scarce, but some dealer-level previews suggest the Dakota could carry over Ram's current design language, the wide stance and chiseled front end seen on the 1500, just scaled down to a tighter mid-size footprint. That would give it a family resemblance to the bigger trucks in Ram's lineup, rather than looking like a shrunken, budget afterthought. Reports also point to features like an electronic locking tailgate and integrated LED bed lighting, which would put it in line with modern midsize expectations rather than a stripped-down entry-level model. If Ram nails the combination of real towing numbers, hybrid flexibility, and a lower price point, this could be the most direct shot at Tacoma, Ranger, and Colorado buyers we've seen in years. Where a truck gets built can tell you almost as much as what's under the hood, and in the Dakota's case, the location says a lot about how serious Ram actually is. According to reports, production is set to happen at the Belvidere Assembly Plant in Illinois. That plant has a bit of a rocky recent history. It went idle after Jeep Cherokee production ended there back in February of 2023. Since then, it's mostly sat unused, which made it a natural talking point whenever people questioned whether Stellantis was truly committed to bringing manufacturing jobs back to that facility. Reports indicate Stellantis reaffirmed its plans to build the midsize truck at Belvidere, tying the decision back to its 2023 agreement with the UAW. That matters, because the Dakota wasn't always a sure thing. Ram reportedly delayed the truck at one point last year before recommitting to the plan. According to Automotive News, this renewed commitment to Belvidere is part of Stellantis honoring that labor agreement, not just a convenient manufacturing choice. There's a catch, though. Reports note that Belvidere currently isn't set up to build a body-on-frame truck like the Dakota. The plant reportedly needs a complete retool before production can start. That's a significant undertaking, and it's part of why the timeline points to 2027 rather than something sooner. It's worth remembering, too, that Stellantis has changed direction on plant assignments before, so nothing here is fully locked in until vehicles are actually rolling off the line. As for the name itself even, that isn't 100% confirmed yet. Some earlier reports floated Ram 1200 as a possible badge, but more recent reporting, including direct comments attributed to Canisius, points strongly toward Dakota as the name Ram is moving forward with. Bringing back a nameplate with that kind of history in the truck world isn't a small decision. It signals Ram wants this truck to feel like a return, not just a new product launch. Timeline-wise, reports consistently point to 2027 as the production year, with the truck arriving as a 2028 model. That means buyers eyeing a Tacoma, Ranger, or Colorado today still have some time before the Dakota becomes a direct cross-shopping option at the dealership. Insiders have reportedly already seen early versions of the design in person, and Ram appears to be treating this launch with a level of care that suggests they know exactly how much is riding on it, both for the brand and for that Illinois plant waiting to come back to life. So let's bring this home. What does the Dakota actually mean for the segment? And should Toyota, Ford, and Chevy really be worried? Start with price. According to reports, the Dakota is being positioned to fill the gap left when the budget-friendly Ram 1500 Classic was discontinued back in October of 2024. Canisius has reportedly pointed out that the old 1500 Classic used to compete on price surprisingly close to the midsize segment itself. If Ram can recreate that kind of value with the Dakota, it wouldn't just be a new midsize option. It could undercut expectations on cost while still delivering the towing and payload numbers of a proper truck. That combination is exactly why rivals might have reason to pay attention. Toyota, Ford, and GM have had this segment largely to themselves for over a decade. Reports suggest the Tacoma alone accounts for more than 200,000 U.S. sales a year, with Ford's Ranger and Maverick lineup putting up comparable numbers, and GM's mid-sized trucks adding roughly 140,000 more. That's a massive, loyal customer base, and Ram hasn't had a real answer for any of it since 2011. Now, according to reports, Ram is entering with a turbocharged engine already proven in the Hornet, a possible plug-in hybrid option, standard all-wheel drive, and a design language borrowed straight from the full-size 1500. Combine that with a lower starting price and a name that already carries nostalgia for a lot of truck buyers, and Ram may have built exactly the kind of package that peels buyers away from competitors rather than just adding another option to the shelf. Of course, it's worth staying grounded here. A lot of these details are still based on reports, dealer previews, and comments attributed to Ram's leadership, not confirmed factory specs. The plant still needs a full retool, the name isn't locked in beyond strong signals, and production is still roughly a year out. Plans like this can shift before launch. But if even most of what's being reported holds up, the 2027 Ram Dakota isn't just Ram dipping a toe back into the midsize truck world. It's a direct, calculated swing at Tacoma, Ranger, and Colorado buyers, backed by a name with real history behind it. Whether it actually lives up to the hype is something we won't know for sure until it's sitting on dealer lots. But for now, this is easily one of the most watched truck launches heading into 2027, and it's easy to see why rivals might be paying close attention. That's it for this one, Cars Review fans. Let us know down in the comments, are you Team Dakota, or are you sticking with your Tacoma, Ranger, or Colorado? See you in the next video.